Intro. Tomorrow, millions of Americans will wake up to find extra money in their bank accounts. But here's the catch. Not everyone will receive these increased Social Security payments. So, if you're wondering whether you'll be among the lucky ones, stick with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to explain exactly who qualifies for these boosted payments, how much extra money you could receive, and what you need to do to make sure you don't miss out on these important adjustments. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You'll want to stay up to date on everything related to Social Security benefits, stimulus payments, and money-saving tips that could add hundreds of dollars to your monthly income. Ready to learn more about these increased payments? Let's jump in. Who is receiving these payments? So, who exactly is getting these increased Social Security payments tomorrow? Well, the Social Security Administration, SSA, has a specific payment schedule based on beneficiaries' birth dates. This is especially important right now due to the recent cost of living adjustment COLA. You might be wondering, why are these payments different from the usual ones? The reason is simple. Inflation. Rising costs have made it necessary for the SSA to make changes to ensure beneficiaries can maintain their standard of living. In 2024, there's a 3.2% COLA, which means millions of Americans will see a noticeable increase in their monthly payments. When will you get paid? The payment schedule isn't as straightforward as you might think. The SSA divides payments into three main groups based on birth dates. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of the month, you're in the first wave of payments. If your birthday is between the 11th and 20th, you're in the second wave. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, you're in the third wave. Tomorrow's payments will specifically target one of these groups. I'll reveal which one in just a moment. How much extra will you receive? Now, let's talk numbers. On average, most Social Security recipients will see an increase of about $59 per month. Some individuals could receive even more. Depending on your situation, you might see a boost of $100 or even $150 a month. How much you'll receive depends on several factors, including your lifetime earnings history. The more you contributed during your working years, the higher your benefit. The age at which you begin claiming your benefits, whether it's at 62, your full retirement age, or delayed until age 70. For those of you receiving Supplemental Security Income SSI, these increases are important too. SSI recipients may be eligible for both a boost in their monthly payments, as well as additional state-specific support, making for an even larger increase. What about people receiving both Social Security and SSI? For those of you who receive both Social Security retirement benefits and SSI, what we call concurrent benefits, these increases will apply to both. However, it's important to know that these increases may not be as simple as adding the two together. They may be adjusted differently, so it's important to stay informed about how these changes will affect your total payment. Special cases. Payments before May 1997. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1st, 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI benefits, your payment schedule might be different. These recipients typically get their payments on the 3rd of each month, regardless of their birth date. This can cause some confusion, so be sure to check your payment date to avoid any misunderstandings. Medicare Part B premium adjustment for 2024. You might also be concerned about the Medicare Part B premium adjustment for 2024. The standard premium has increased by $9.80, rising to $174.79. This premium will be deducted from your Social Security benefit, which means it may impact the total amount you actually receive. Keep an eye on your net payment to ensure you're seeing the correct amount. Impact on family benefits. Don't forget about your family. If you have dependents who are receiving benefits based on your work record, such as a spouse or children, their payments will also be impacted by this COLA. The family maximum benefit rules may limit how much can be paid to your family, but the good news is that they'll still see a boost. Effect on other benefits. It's also important to consider how these increased Social Security payments might affect other benefits you're receiving. For instance, if you're enrolled in means-tested programs like SNAP, Medicaid, or housing assistance, the higher Social Security payments could impact your eligibility or the amount of support you receive. Make sure to check how your Social Security increase could affect these benefits. What if you don't receive your payment on time? If you don't receive your increased payment tomorrow, don't panic. The Social Security Administration typically follows its schedule, but sometimes things can get delayed due to banking holidays, system updates, or processing times. To verify your payment amount, the SSA offers several ways to check. Log into your My Social Security account online. Call the SSA's automated service at 1-800-772-1213 or visit your local Social Security office. Make sure to have all your documentation ready, including your benefit verification letter, any notices from the SSA, and your bank statements, just in case you need to resolve any discrepancies. Tax implications of the increased payments. Keep in mind that there are tax implications to these increased payments. If your total income, Social Security included, exceeds certain thresholds, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could become taxable. This might push you into a higher tax bracket, so it's a good idea to consult a tax professional to understand how these changes affect your situation. Do you need to apply? The best part about these increased payments is that they are automatic. You don't need to apply or contact the SSA to receive them. However, it's essential to make sure your contact details and direct deposit information are up to date to avoid any delays. What to do if you're not satisfied with the increase? If you're not happy with the increase, even after the standard COLA, consider reviewing your earnings record for accuracy. You may also want to check if you qualify for any other benefits or state-specific supplements that could help boost your income. Looking ahead, future adjustments. Looking ahead. While we can't predict exact amounts, the SSA uses a formula based on Consumer Price Index to determine future cost of living adjustments. Understanding this process can help you better prepare for upcoming changes to your benefits. Tips for making the most of the increased payments. With rising costs, it's important to make the most of your increased benefits. Consider using the extra funds for essential expenses, building an emergency fund,